When you think about ancient civilizations, what comes to mind? Pyramids, pharaohs, maybe some hieroglyphics. Now imagine being so precise with timekeeping that your calendar is still talked about today, thousands of years later. That's the legacy of the Maya. Join me as we go back in time to explore the secrets of their sacred timekeeping tradition. Let's start at the beginning. Where did this all begin? The Maya civilization flourished in what is now Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, and parts of Honduras and El Salvador. Their story goes back about 2,000 years. We're talking before the time of Christ. This region was a cultural powerhouse. In the heart of the jungle, far from the eyes of the old world empires, the Maya built magnificent cities. Not just any cities, but centers of learning, trade, and art. Places like Tikal, Palenque, and Copan were buzzing with activity. The word Maya itself means our people, or the people. It's a term that encompasses a number of different groups united by language and culture. These groups lived in independent city-states, each ruled by an elite king, often considered a god on earth. Imagine a ruler who's both a political leader and a divine figure. That was the Maya way. So let's talk about these guys, the rulers. They weren't just sitting around doing nothing. Oh no, they were playing a big game. We're talking about the Maya ball game. This wasn't your grandma's friendly game of dodgeball.
Right.
It was intense. Two teams competed, each trying to maneuver a heavy rubber ball through stone hoops. The stakes were high. Sometimes entire towns were on the line. Winning teams celebrated with fancy feasts, and the losers, well, they faced serious consequences. In some cases, the losing team members even lost their heads. Talk about a do-or-die situation. Now let's shift our focus. The Maya weren't just about warfare and sports. They had a profound connection with nature. They saw themselves as part of the natural world, not separate from it. This is where their unique calendar system comes into play. Let's dive deeper into their calendar system. Now get ready because there was more than one calendar. They had 3 main calendars, each adding a layer to their understanding of time. First up, the Tzolk'in, or the sacred calendar. This calendar had 260 days, a bit different from our usual 365, right? But here's where it gets interesting. The Tzolk'in combined 20-day names with 13 numbers. Yes, you heard right, 13. This gave them 260 unique day signs. Each day was associated with a particular god or animal and had its own special meaning. For instance, the Maya believed that the number 1 represented creation, 2, war, 3, merchants, and so on. Plus, they assigned specific deities to each day. Like the rain god on the day Imix or the death god on the day Kawak, the Tzolk'in wasn't just a way to keep track of days, it was a way of life. The decisions like when to plant crops, name a child, or even go to war were influenced by this calendar. It was like a cosmic guide helping them navigate important choices. Next, we have the Haab, or the solar calendar. This one had 365 days, much closer to our modern calendar. It was divided into 18 months, each month lasting 20 days, with an additional 5-day month at the end. The last month was a bit of a wild card. They called it Wayib, and saw it as an unlucky time. It's kind of like how we might avoid making big decisions during a black cat crossing our path. During these 5 days, the Maya believed that the world was out of balance. Bad things could happen, and even family members could turn against each other. So if you were planning a big event, you'd want to avoid the 5 days of Wayib. But wait, there's more. These 2 calendars, the Tzolk'in and the Haab, worked together to create something called the calendar round. Imagine a year divided into 52 weeks. Almost exactly how we measure our year today. The Maya also kept track of time in cycles, very long cycles. This is where the long count calendar comes in. This system helped them measure time in thousands of years. It had special symbols and rules for counting. And it allowed them to record important events and dates, kind of like a super long timeline. Now, let us fast forward to 2012. You might have heard people talking about how it was the end of the world or the end of an era. Well, you know who got that idea? Some people misinterpreted the end of a long count cycle as a prediction of doom. But guess what? For the Maya, it was just a New Year's Eve celebration. They believed that after 5,125 years, the world would be reborn, not destroyed. It's like a giant reset button in the cosmic game. Okay, so let's put all of this together. The Maya had a really complex view of time. It wasn't just about days and years. It was about cycles: creation, destruction, and rebirth. They saw time as a repeating pattern, a dance of the cosmos. Just as the planets move around the Earth, time moved in cycles. The Maya weren't the only ones fascinated by cycles. Many ancient cultures around the world, from the Greeks to the Egyptians, from the Chinese to the Aztec, they all kept track of time. They observed eclipses, constellations, and seasonal changes. But the Maya took it to a whole new level. Their calendar system was incredibly accurate, matching up closely to our modern scientific understanding of time. They noticed that the planet Venus seemed to follow its own cycle, rising and setting in the sky. They saw how the Earth's orbit affects seasons and daylight. By watching the sky, the Maya became some of the first astronomers. They predicted eclipses and mapped star patterns. They knew that Venus had phases like the moon, which blew their minds back then. Even figured out the Milky Way is full of stars, not just a river of light in the sky. Get this, they recognized that the sun isn't actually chasing the moon around the Earth. Instead, the moon rotates the Earth. Whoa, right? And here's the kicker. They didn't use fancy telescopes or computers. They just used keen observation and math skills. Speaking of math skills, let's talk about their number system. The Maya developed a base 20 counting system and invented the concept of zero, something we take for granted today. But back then, whoa, it was revolutionary. They also used the symbol for zero as a placeholder in numbers, allowing them to represent large numbers with ease. They left us some mind-boggling notes explaining their calculations and theories. The Maya didn't just count time, they understood it. They saw it as a grand cycle, a cosmic ballet. For them, every ending was also a beginning. Every death brought new life. They weren't afraid of time. They embraced it, respected it, and celebrated it. As I wrap up this journey through time with the Maya, I can't help but feel inspired by their curiosity and their connection to the universe. They remind us that time is more than just a tick-tock on the clock. It's a story written in the stars, in the cycles of nature, and in the very fabric of our existence. So the next time you look up at the night sky or feel the rhythm of the seasons, remember the Maya and their timeless wisdom. Maybe they had it figured out all along.